Hello everybody, TyronnCannon here, and welcome to episode 2 of my NBA 2K23 80-year rebuild with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Today we're going to be working through the 2023-24 season, I believe that's right. This is going to be a very interesting season. I'm going to be hoping for around a play-in slot in the Western Conference. I know that's a big ask considering we finished 26-56 last season. But if you're new around here, feel free to subscribe or leave a like on the video. You know, that really helps out the channel. We're trying to get to 300 by the end of the year. I don't normally ask for this kind of thing at the start of the video, but it's just something I'm going to be trying out from here on out. Anyway, player mentorship is where we're going to begin this episode. I've set up some player mentorship for a couple of our younger players. So Anthony Edwards is going to be mentored by Fred VanVleet, just on a few things just to get him ready in his development. Karl Towns isn't getting anything. Gobert's not getting anything. Wendell Moore Jr. is being mentored by Robin Lopez, of all people. I'm trying to mold Wendell Moore Jr. into something of a low post sort of threat in from the wing position. It's a bit strange, but I think with Towns spending more time on the perimeter as more of a three-point shooter, I think having a second presence down low might actually help us out, even though he's going to be playing a bit more on the wing. So Robin Lopez is going to help us out with that. Patrick Baldwin Jr. not going to be getting any player mentorship, neither with Kessler Edwards. Juan Carlos Chavez is going to be mentored by Rajon Rondo. I brought Rondo on board purely for this purpose, just to pass on some very good playmaking badges to Juan Carlos Chavez. I see Juan Carlos taking over the starting job potentially as early as next season, but this season he's going to be starting us off as the sixth man, because I don't know how well Fred VanVleet's going to age, so I'd like to keep him around at least for a little while, at least for this season, and then potentially trade him in a couple of seasons' times before he starts to decline. Now, I didn't really go over the stats from last season. We'll quickly go over some team stats, if I can find the right tab. League standings, we are currently down somewhere here. Last season, obviously, finished 26-56, so not ideal. We're in a medium market. We've got a total budget of $134 million. This is going to be our starting lineup to start the season. We've got Fred VanVleet point guard, Anthony Edwards at shooting guard, Wendell Moore Jr. at small forward, Towns at power forward, and Gobert at center. Our staff, we've covered the staff at the beginning of the last episode. Sorry, the end of the last episode. Our weaknesses at the moment is, not the Blazers. Our weaknesses at the moment is about passing, steals, and ball handling. So that is something I'm going to be trying to upgrade in the off-season. We're going to be trying to get a really strong point guard. I know we've got VanVleet for the time being, but I see him as more of a really strong bench piece going forward. So hopefully with the development of our young point guards, that's something that we can work on. Team stats from last season, we weren't the best three-point shooting team in the league. We only shot 36% as a team, which isn't too bad. But I would like to work a little bit better on that. We did lose 20 more games than last season, than the 21-22 season, I should say. So we did take a bit of a step back, but we did change coaches. We did change our play style, which is something I'll cover in a second. But it was a successful season because we did pick up some good young talent. So obviously, we've got 80 years to build us up as a powerhouse in the NBA, so losing in the first season, not the end of the world. Where do I need to go? System proficiency is where I want to go. I just want to run a balanced system for this season. I know Michael Stauffer's preference is pace and space, but just with our players that we have at the moment, I think balance is just going to be the way to go. And in terms of the game plan, this is where we're at the moment. Playing a 9-man rotation. We've got our veterans down the bottom who won't be getting much game time. But this is basically it. We're still going to be running that pick and roll heavy offense, as we do have those two very strong centers, I guess. Towns is more of a power forward in my opinion, but I guess some view him as a center. So yeah, running that pick and roll with Van Vliet, Towns, and Gobert, that's going to be the idea. Anyway, let's start the season. I will be back once we're a few games in, and I will probably show you our scouting for this coming season. Alright, I've done some scouting to start the season. We've actually started the season very well. We're currently 20-6. Now, I don't know where that sits us in terms of the rankings in the conference. Let's actually check that out. We're currently the 2nd seed in the West, which is a fantastic start. Really happy with how we've gone, and considering that Towns actually got injured for 2 to 4 weeks with a broken rib, we actually started very, very well. Let's go over the team stats very quickly, if I can find them. Team stats. No, player stats for the team. Here we go. Anthony Edwards is averaging 33 points per game, playing very, very nicely. Towns is going 26-10. Wendell Moore Jr. is actually playing very well, averaging 26-6. Fred VanVleet's currently out with a broken right ankle, so Juan Carlos Chavez has actually had some starting opportunities at point guard, and he's actually been really good. He's shooting 45% from 3. Gobert's been good as well defensively. Patrick Baldwin and Kessler Edwards are contributing off the bench. All of our guys are going pretty well at the moment. So I'm really happy with how we've gone to start the season. I'll quickly show you some of the guys that we've scouted. Let me have a look here. So there's one prospect that's standing out to me, is Judd Hamilton. I would really like to get a strong backup center, and he's 17 out of Michigan, I believe. And his ceiling is Robert Parrish, and his floor is Sean Bradley. He looks to be a good dunker, good low post scorer, fundamentally sound low post defender. His only weakness is he has poor reflex and sometimes is a step behind the action. So he looks to be really, really good. So I've added him to my draft board. I'm looking for him to be sort of the natural replacement for Gobert as Gobert ages. I've also scouted a whole bunch of small forwards with really good perimeter defense. So that'll be sort of my next area of focus, is focusing on guys with really strong perimeter defense to sort of strengthen up our wing area. Even though our wing positions are currently pretty strong with Wendell Moore Jr., Patrick Baldwin Jr., and Anthony Edwards, I would like to strengthen it up even further with Arvydas Stankovic coming into the fold next season. That he's up to 84 overall now. So he's going to be a welcome addition for next season. But I think I'm ready to progress probably until the trade deadline. I don't see me making any major moves, but you never know. I'll be back in 1 second. Alright guys, we are here at the trade deadline. We're 41-14, so really happy with how the season has gone so far. I'm a little bit concerned because Rudy Gobert is out currently with a torn hamstring for about 2 months. But we're currently sitting top of the West, which is quite the turnaround considering we haven't really changed the team that much apart from drafting Chavez. Obviously Stankovic isn't playing right now because he's overseas, and signing Fred VanVleet. Those are the real only changes that we've made. So really happy with how the season's gone so far. Anthony Edwards is averaging 34 points a game. So really happy with how it's gone so far. But as I said, we are at the trade deadline. I'm just looking at the contract situation. Nobody is eligible, and Rudy Gobert wants to test free agency. That is fine. I will be looking to bring him back at some point. But this is exactly why I want to draft Judd Hamilton. And just in case Rudy Gobert gets injured. So this is exactly why I wanted to draft another center to basically fill this void. So we'll quickly see the mock draft. Judd Hamilton, I don't know where he's projected to get picked. He's currently projected to get picked 12th. So if we can maybe pick up the 10th pick or the 9th pick in the upcoming draft, we haven't got a lottery pick, it doesn't look like. Do we have a pick for this year? We don't. We don't have any first-round picks this year. We've got a second from the Lakers, but we've got a few first-round picks in the coming years, which we can definitely trade around. I will make a few trades. I won't make too much, probably just the bench guys. It's like guys I won't bring back, like Valentine and Harris. Like I probably won't bring them back for next season, just because I'll probably just bring back somebody else. Apparently their contract is showing as 1 year for $0. I don't know why it does that, because they're on the minimum, so I might quickly just change that. That's one thing I have noticed. If you sign people to 1 year contracts, it just shows as $0. So just to patch that up, we'll just sign them to the absolute minimum. So I'll be back once all that has been fixed, and then we'll try and trade these guys. Okay, I believe everybody's contract is fixed, so let's try and maybe get a couple of second round picks for Danny Green. There we go. That's basically the exact kind of trade I'm looking for. So we will ship him off to the Atlanta Hawks. That is completely fine. We can always sign somebody else to replace him for the rest of the season. Rondo, I might keep him around because he's mentoring Juan Carlos. But Gary Harris we can send to... Who are we going to send him to? We could potentially get a first-round pick from the Pistons for Braxton Key. Now, I don't know what his contract situation is, but we would need to... Tyler Hero scored 67 points. Wow. We would need to include Rondo in the deal, so I might actually steer clear of that one. Yeah, nothing really here that's jumping out at me. What if we do Valentine and Harris? There we go. This is better. Alex Len, so Gary Harris and Valentine for Alex Len in the first round pick. We'll just quickly double check to see if there's anything better. Doesn't appear that there is. So we'll look like we'll do that one. We'll bring Alex Len on board. I'm probably just going to waive him because I'm assuming we can't flip him because of the trade restrictions. Oh, we can flip him. Okay. We'll bring in RJ Nembhard just for the season, just to fill the bench in because we just traded away 2 shooting guards. We'll pick up a second round pick as well. How's our roster going at the moment? We probably need another small forward and another shooting guard just to fill in the roster. So let's go to shooting guard. Can we sign Lonnie Walker? No, we can't sign Lonnie Walker. Who's the oldest shooting guard that we can find? Justin Holiday. Perfect. We'll sign him to we can sign him to a 2-year deal. Perfect. And small forward will do the same thing. Eric Gordon. Hopefully he wants the 2-year deal, which he does. That way we can flip him in the off season. So that has fixed that up. Everything else is going to be unchanged. I will be back probably with the end of the season. All right, we finished the season 58-24. What a finish to the season. Luka Doncic gets a 40-point triple-double basically for MVP, back-to-back years for him. Trey Burns gets Rookie of the Year. Detroit drafted him with the 4th pick overall, the 23-year-old. Averaged 14 and 13 with 6 assists. A couple of blocks in there as well, so he looks like he had a good rookie campaign. Juan Carlos Chavez gets 6th man of the year. I did that in the last episode. What a first season he's had, winning 6th man of the year in your debut season as a 2nd round pick. I'm really happy with that. He had a phenomenal season. Giannis gets defensive player of the year again. Ochai Akbaji, I believe that's how you say it, gets most improved. And Taylor Jenkins gets Coach of the Year, who's not our coach. I'm surprised our coach didn't get Coach of the Year. And I'll go around the league now. No surprises on the All-NBA first team. No guys on the All-NBA second team. No guys on the All-NBA third team. So all of our guys miss out, unfortunately. All-defensive first team. All-defensive second team, no. All-rookie first team. Juan Carlos Chavez gets there. Okay, so, and all-rookie second team, we wouldn't have anybody because we only had one rookie that actually played. So we finished top seed in the West. Very happy with how that played out. We'll simulate the play-in tournament. We have Golden State in the first round. Now, basically, how this is going to work. I will only jump in and play games if it's close and it's like a game 7 and the series is on the line. But I'm not going to play every single playoff game because that'd be absurd. But we'll quickly go over the team stats for the season. We'll go look at team stats. Not the playoff. I want the season stats, team stats. So we had the best record in the league. I think where we shine was our defense. We had the best defense in the league. So having Rudy Gobert definitely helps in that facet. We're also top 5 in 3-pointers made, 3-pointers attempt, we're somewhere, I don't know. But we had the second best team 3-point rating, so much improved on last year. Free throws made, we're not really in the top. We're at 11th, so that's fine. Offensive rebounding percentage would be around the place somewhere, I'm assuming. We're middle of the league. Defensive rebounds per game, I don't know where we are. Assists per game, we have to be up there because we had a lot of point guards. We're 16th, so we're looking like we're having a lot of isolation plays. But turnovers, we're first in turnovers. Okay, that's interesting. Points off turnovers were first. Is that conceding or scoring? I'm not sure. But we had the worst bench one of the worst benches in the league, so we might have to improve our depth. But that's fine. I'm happy with how the season has gone as a whole, even if we don't succeed in the playoffs. So, but we'll look at the player stats quickly. Anthony Edwards, 35 points a game. Karl Towns, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Van Vliet averaged 20 and 8. Wendell Moore averaged 25 and 6. Rudy Gobert averaged 15 and 15. We just had a good season. We had a really good season. Let's just we'll simcast the first couple of games just to see how we go, because I am curious. I've forgotten to check who is on Golden State's roster. I do know that Draymond Green is on the Utah Jazz for some reason. How the hell did they get Paul George? Did they trade Klay Thompson for Paul George? They did. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, Kuminga, they also have Kyle Kuzma. So I'm not sure how he landed there. They drafted Edward Kennedy, 28th overall. He actually looks pretty solid. They've got Wiseman, they've got Dennis Schroeder. They've got a half-decent roster, actually. Moses Moody, Austin Rivers, who was on our roster for a bit last year, until we traded him to Golden State. Bryn Forbes as well. He was on our roster last year, so a few familiar faces, but we win game 1 fairly comfortably in the end. We have got home court advantage, of course, so this is a very close game. We win by 10 in the end. Game 3 is in Golden State. Close game, Golden State have the lead. They win by 5 in the end. Game 4, it's 2-1 lead to us. We're big, we're up big. Looks like we're going to win. Oh, we lose, we concede 45 points in the last quarter to lose by 7. Series is tied at 2 apiece. Gobert is back, so that's a good sign. Is Fred VanVleet's coming off the bench now? Okay, I'll allow it. The winner of this series will face OKC next. They swept Denver. Anyway, Rudy Gobert is back. And we are just dominating Golden State in this game. Wow, we won by 51 after scoring 184 points. Karl-Anthony Towns with a triple-double. We're up 3-2. We're expected to go forward with the rest of this series. Looking fairly comfortable here. We win by 9. That is the end of that series. As I said, we are now facing Oklahoma City in the second round after they beat Denver, I think I said. So they've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Australia represent, Chet Holmgren, or Chet Holmgren, I should say, Lou Dort, Trey Mann, Ousmane Dieng, Lawrence Hill, Manuel Munoz, who was their rookie selection in last year's draft. So 15 and 13, not bad, not bad. Harrison Barnes is on the roster. Alexei Pokusevski's on the roster. Darius Baisley's on the roster. Caldwell Pope's on the roster. So they've got a decent squad. But they're very thin at center. Obviously, they've got Holmgren, but Rudy Gobert should be able to just body him, I assume, as they are blowing us out in game 1 on our floor. They win by 12 in the end. So hopefully we can bounce back in game 2. They've got a big lead again. They win by 5, back-to-back games on our home floor. Hopefully we don't get swept here. We've had the lead for a little bit, and we lose by 5. We're down 3-zip. This isn't looking good. And it looks like we're going to blow them out in game 4. So we're at 3-1. Anthony Edwards has got a day-to-day injury. That's fine. We're blowing them out again in Game 5. Oh, they've come back. 8 points, the margin. Now, the winner of this series is going to play New Orleans in the conference finals. But we got to win the next 2 games. We're down 3-0. And looks like we're going to tie things up at 3-3. Hopefully, we can come back in this series. It's not looking likely, considering Game 7 is been bad. We lost by 31. Damn. So we lose in the semi-finals. That's okay. Who is going to win the championship this year? Pelicans Hawks in the finals. And the Atlanta Hawks win the NBA championship with Trae Young getting finals MVP. So player retirements. LeBron has retired. Carmelo Anthony has retired. None of our guys have retired, I don't think. Hall of Fame, LeBron and Melo. Jersey retirements, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Blake Griffin. We won't change any rules this year. Nothing really jumping out at me. Let's go to the draft lottery. I don't believe we have any picks, so I might just actually skip over this one. We do not have any picks. The Pelicans have #1 odds via LA. And the Jazz get the #1 pick, so I might trade into today's draft, because I do want to get my hands on Judd Hamilton. So we'll skip over the staff signing. We've got all of our staff. We've got Sankovic. He's going to be... I might just move Edwards to small forward while I think of it. And we'll just flick his secondary position to shooting guard, because it doesn't do it automatically for whatever reason. Okay. So, ideally, we'd like to pick up another... what am I trying to say? I'd like to trade for Judd Hamilton. So I'm going to trade for as many first-round picks as I can. I did see one, but I want to get one that's not protected. Okay, we'll just take this one. That's fine. That way we can... maybe if we can get like the 5th pick just to be safe. We could trade for the 30th pick. I don't really have anybody else that I want to draft with the 30th pick. We'll get Brooklyn's 2026 first-round pick. We'll send Eric Gordon back to Houston. Maxi Kleber, we can trade him back to Houston for a 2028 first-round pick. This will give us a bit of cap room as well. Robin Lopez, we'll trade him. Where can we send him? We'll send him to Memphis for their first-round pick. We will also trade Javonte Green. Where can we send him? We'll send him to... We will send him to Atlanta for the 2025 Sacramento first-round pick, which has high trade value, apparently. So that looks like a great deal for us. Now we need to find... So where is Judd Hamilton's predicted to go at 15th? If we can get the 10th pick, I feel pretty confident about us picking him up. So who has the 10th pick? That's the only question. Let's have a look. Jazz have the 11th pick, which is Trailblazers pick. Let's trade that for the top 3 protected Pistons pick. They want the Sacramento pick. Not going to do that. We'll give them some second-round picks. Hopefully that will work. We'll throw in 3 second-round picks. We'll throw in 4 second-round picks. And we'll throw in our 2028 first-round pick. We'll get rid of some of these seconds. And they agree. Okay. So we've got the 11th pick, I think it was. Yep, the 11th pick. Hopefully Judd Hamilton is still there. If not, we can use some of the draft capital that we've acquired to get him. Russ Dunleavy goes #1. That is fine. Not one that was on my scouting list at all. Damon Mullen goes #2. I'm going to try and get through this as fast as I can. Judd Hamilton goes 3rd to Sacramento. Okay. Sacramento, where are you? Okay. Here's 3.5 star trade value. Going to give you pick 11. We need to get rid... Oh, we haven't got the financial capacity to do this deal. Trade exception. Have we got a trade exception? We don't. Okay. How can I do this? Okay, let's think this through. Let's trade Van Vliet. And let's, I don't really want to trade Van Vliet, actually. That gives us 14 million cap room for free agency, so that's okay. Can we sneak in your first round pick for next year? No, 2027, not 2017. And we'll try and get their second round pick as well, because we haven't got one. Can we do this deal? Okay. Maybe just that? Let's go the 2 second round picks from before. I don't really want to give up another first. They agree. Okay, we've got Judd Hamilton. It did cost us Fred VanVleet, but that's okay. We got our man. 77 overall. Welcome to the team. Sankovic is still going to sign as well. He's 87 overall. Team player options, we're going to bring everybody back. Kawhi Leonard accepts his player option, so he's going to stay on the Clippers for another season. Qualifying offers. We'll extend Anthony Edwards. We'll extend Kessler Edwards. RJ Nembhard, we will actually not extend his. We've got 18 million to spend, I believe. Actually, it says we only have 8. We'll start by re-signing Anthony Edwards. We'll start with that. We're going to sign him. I don't really want to lowball him. Actually, we'll leave he's restricted, so that's fine. We need a point guard. First of all, we need to sign a point guard. Peyton Pritchard looks to be a good backup. We could get Derrick Rose for the Badgers for mentoring, but he is 35. Kennedy Chandler, he's got good potential. I know that. He's got B+ potential. How did he go last season? 4 points per game, not too bad. He's only asking for 5 million a season. Why is it custom? That's weird. Let's go Peyton Pritchard. We'll give him a 4-year deal. Let's sign him. Whoa, what am I doing? Here we go. Let's give him approximately 9 million a season is what I think he's worth. 4 years, 36 million. We'll offer him that deal, which he accepts. We'll get rid of all these trade exceptions. Rondo, we're going to let go, renounce his rights. So, Anthony Edwards has agreed to a deal which we will match. And we've signed Peyton Pritchard as well. Okay, Kessler Edwards, we will extend him a contract. I don't really want to give him 10 million a season. Maybe 8.5 a season. With bird rights, that can increase over time. He's declined that deal. Let's think about this. Let's give him 9.5 a season. And it's front-loaded. So it'll be in year 5 of that deal. He'll be only making 7.6 million. He's mulling it at the moment. He accepts. That's good. Okay. What do we need? We need a backup point guard, a backup shooting guard. We need 2 backup shooting guards, actually. Backup power forward, backup center. Okay, let's go. Alex Caruso. Why not? Let's bring him in. 2-year deal for Alex Caruso. Now we need 2 shooting guards, was it? Jordan Clarkson. We'll bring Denzel Valentine back to Minnesota. And Jordan Clarkson as well can come to Minnesota. Denzel Valentine, welcome. Caruso, welcome. Jordan Clarkson, welcome. Now we need a power forward. Jeff Green. Oh, it's Jermichael Green, not Jeff Green. Rudy Gay. Did he ever play for Minnesota? No. Okay, we'll bring Rudy Gay aboard. Why not? 2-year deal. And for a center, Mike Muscala. He's a good 3-point shooter. And we need 3-point shooting off the bench. Can never have too much of that. And there we go. We've got our roster of 15. We'll go to player progression. Hopefully it's all good. Rudy Gobert +1 goes to 91 overall. Towns gets to 90 overall. So does Anthony Edwards. Sankovic is 88 overall. Wendell Moore Jr. is... I almost said Wendell Carter Jr. is at 81. Juan Carlos Chavez is at 79. Patrick Baldwin Jr. is 78. Judd Hamilton obviously just got here, so he's not going to progress. Peyton Pritchard gets to 77. Everybody else remains the same. The older guys obviously will drop off. Let's go to the training camp. We don't really need to see all-star selections. That's fine. All-star city selection, I should say. But we're going to send Sankovic and Judd Hamilton to a potential camp. So I see those guys as real keys for the future of this franchise. But that is going to do it for the end of Season 2. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you wish to join my Discord, there's links to that below. Until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.